I believe there's 250 names of sugar. See, the food companies, they like to confuse us, Chef Vanessa, and they like to dupe us, and they're putting things in our food that are making us sick. And people don't realize, wait a minute, cane syrup, comma, brown sugar syrup, comma, cane sugar, comma, that's all sugar. It's just disguised in different names. And I tell people, if sugar or salt is in the first three ingredients, you're mainly eating sugar or salt. First in is most in, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It would not even say sugar. It would say something like HFCS, and then you find out that is sugar, right?
That's right. Yeah, we wonder why we're getting sick, and diabetes, sugar leads to weight gain and joint pain and all that. And I ate a lot of sugar, and I'm so surprised that I don't crave it anymore. I mean, I was like, once you kind of cut it out of your diet or really throttle back, and if you reintroduce it like a cupcake or something really sweet, you actually don't like it. It just tastes like 100 times sweeter, and you're like, oh. So because your taste buds change.
Yeah. Hello everyone, and welcome to the Eat Play Fit show. Today I am speaking to Nancy Wright. Nancy is a master certified health coach through the Dr. Sears Wellness Institute. Nancy started practicing health coaching 5 years ago. She loves helping others get back to being vibrant and alive again. Nancy's own health journey began when she was diagnosed with leaky gut and various food sensitivities. Through this journey, she mastered how to read food labels and heal herself with the help of her amazing naturopath. Nancy also holds a bachelor's degree in communication from Cal State University Chico. Currently, Nancy primarily works with women with diabetes in managing their blood sugar while being able to eat all the delicious foods they love. Nancy finds joy in seeing many lives transformed as they are getting back their health. When she is not working, Nancy enjoys horseback riding, hiking, dog walking, cycling, and the beach. Recently, Nancy is enjoying making plant-based recipes. She lives in North County, San Diego with her husband, daughter, and 2 dogs. You might actually hear Nancy's dog trying to get our attention while we are talking. Without much further ado, please enjoy this conversation and learn some exceptional nuggets to help you lose weight and live healthier. Enjoy. Hi Nancy, good morning. Welcome to the Eat Play Fit show. How are you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for having me, Chef Vanessa. So nice to see you.
Yeah, good to see you as well. So for the listeners that do not know you, tell them your story. What do you do? Who do you help?
Okay, let's start off with what do I do? I'm a certified health coach, almost master certified health coach in November. And then I'll be board eligible to be board certified, nationally board certified. What do I do? I coach women over 40 who have pre-diabetes and diabetes. That's what I do. I help them feel better, and in some cases, reverse diabetes.
That is awesome. Yeah. And then I think you also had your personal health challenges, which got you started on health coaching journey. Do you want to talk about that?
Yes. My journey began 4 years ago when I was diagnosed with leaky gut / food sensitivities. And I was wondering what the heck was in our food. So that was my reason for becoming a health coach, is I needed to know nutrition and label read. So I do a lot of talks on food, on label reading. It's called What the Food Manufacturers Don't Want You to Know. When I was diagnosed, my naturopath worked with me on that to help heal my gut, and my and an RD, a registered dietitian. And through that journey, I was able to heal my gut, but I also got really good learning how to read labels. And you know that, being a Sears coach as well. So with the result of that was 25 pounds down, which is a pretty good side effect. Weight loss is a good side effect when all you're really trying to do is learn to read labels and avoid gluten, dairy, and almonds. Really are the big triggers for me in my gut. Who knew?
Yeah, right. And gluten is like so easily available, and it is in almost like every food. So it is probably a lot more difficult to avoid it. But then once you start feeling better, losing weight, I'm sure it becomes easier.
Well, that's a good question, Sharfuna. At the beginning, it was very challenging and a little scary because it isn't a lot of things, but you'd be surprised, once you learn what to avoid and learn to read labels and you go to certain gluten-free websites, it's actually not as daunting as it is in the beginning. In the beginning, yes, it was. And eating out, yes. But you just kind of train yourself and know what to eat and what not to eat.
I agree, right? Yeah, it is empowering once you figure out what is going on, because sickness is not normal, like, and then every time you eat something as common as bread that everybody eats, and then you start feeling bad, that is not good, right?
Right.
Yeah. So let's talk about diabetes and pre-diabetes. What are some things people can do to manage diabetes? And I'm sure label reading is a big part of it, because all all of the processed food has hidden sugars that you would not know if you don't know how to read labels.
Right. Well, that's a good question. You have to watch the sugar, you have to watch your carbs, and you have to learn how to read labels. And one of the things that I teach in my class, or my workshop, I should say, is I give them the hidden names of sugar, because I believe there's 250 names of sugar. See, the food companies, they like to confuse us, Sharfuna, and they like to dupe us, and they're putting things in our food that are making us sick. And people don't realize, wait a minute, cane syrup, comma, brown sugar syrup, comma, cane sugar, comma, that's all sugar. It's just disguised in different names. And I tell people, if sugar or salt is in the first three ingredients, you're mainly eating sugar or salt. First in is most in, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it would not even say sugar. It would say something like HFCS, and then you find out that is sugar, right?
That's right. That's right. Yeah. And we wonder why we're getting sick, and diabetes, sugar leads to weight gain and joint pain and all that. And I ate a lot of sugar, and I'm so surprised that I don't crave it anymore. I mean, I was like, once you kind of cut it out of your diet or really throttle back, and if you reintroduce it like a cupcake or something really sweet, you actually don't like it. It just tastes like 100 times sweeter, and you're like, oh, so because your taste buds change.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Do you eat any sugar from fruit at all? Like, do you eat fruits, or do you have to avoid that?
I love
You
fruit.
do?
Oh, absolutely. I tend to eat more strawberries and berries, and that's a good fruit, and that's low in sugar.
Yes.
But I watch the pineapple and pomegranate, although pomegranate is so good. I just in moderation, right? Everything in moderation. Yeah.
Absolutely. So what are some of the ways people can cut or start cutting sugar out? I know, it is difficult to, okay, one day I eat cupcakes and cookies and next day I stop everything. So I know that is impractical. So what are some ways people can start getting on this path?
Oh, well, one of the things that I was trained to do right now in my course is do a wellness vision statement. It could be like, I'm alive, I'm vibrant, I'm healthy, I'm energetic, I'm eating less sugar, my arms are toned, I fit my clothes. I would say creating a wellness vision statement and having that blasted all over the place and kind of using it as a mantra, and then one step at a time, because this is hard to do. One step at a time. So maybe like this week, rather than drinking 2 sodas a day, I'll just try to go down to 1. And then you'll be surprised how easier it gets when you do little baby steps along the way.
Yes, that is perfect. I like the idea of the vision statement too, because I have heard it in so many different contexts, never in terms of health. So I really like that.
Yeah.
If you surround yourself with your vision that, okay, I want to be healthier.
Yeah, you see it everywhere. You see it everywhere, in the car, on the refrigerator. You say it in the morning, you say it at night. It becomes like a mantra. And then, it takes 14 days to develop a habit, right? So I'm not going to say it's easy, but, if you just put one foot in front of the other, it will get easier.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And learning how to read labels is so important. Gosh. So important. Yeah. And watching your carbs.
Yes, absolutely.
So break down to sugar. So you have to watch the carbs. Yeah. Go ahead.
Right. Yeah. What are some of, or maybe let's just go with, what are your top 3 habits for a healthy, balanced life?
Movement is medicine.
Yeah.
So movement every day. Even if you had a busy work schedule, move. Somehow run up and down the stairs, walk to your car, take a lunch break, walk during your lunch. Eat and then walk. I would say, and this is kind of hard, but I think social connections are so important, friends and family.
Yes.
That's a little hard to do right now if you're not quarantining with your friends and family. They say laughter is so great. I watch Seinfeld or some comedy show.
Yes.
Try to laugh, right, to lower your stress level. And of course, good nutrition and whole foods. Eat the food that God made, not that man made. I always say, eat whole foods. And I always demonstrate it, like the food that grows on a plant, like
Right.
almonds, not in a plant, something man-made and processed, right? So good nutrition, movement, social circles if you can do it. If you can't, find something really funny that makes you laugh.
Yeah, I'm a fellow Seinfeld fan. I think I've watched all the episodes and all the reruns, and then I like his new show, the conversations with comedians,
Yeah,
or with comedians getting coffee, something.
that's right. Yeah. Oh, well.
Yeah, he's funny. I don't even know how he can sustain funny for all these years, but he's amazing.
He's amazing. And they say, when you laugh, you live longer too. If you notice, comedians live long. They live long because laughter lowers our stress hormone called the cortisol, right? Yeah.
Right. So, I think everybody's glued to their desk in front of computers all day long, and especially with the, pandemic, it's almost 1.5 years. So what is your advice to the listeners who are like so busy in front of their computer, sedentary lifestyle? How can they incorporate some balance and self-care in their everyday life?
Oh, that's such a great question. And it's challenging, but there's something called the sitting disease, or if you sit longer than an hour, they're calling it the sitting disease or the new smoking. So I would put a timer on your phone or a timer somewhere and just get up and move. If you have to go outside, if you can, and do jumping jacks. If you're in a workplace and you can't do that, then I would go up and down the stairs or walk to the car, somehow get movement. So that's one thing. Dr. Sears also taught us about isometrics, where you kind of take your hands and you push together. So you could Google isometric exercises. That's where I would start. The other thing that I would do is, there's a lot of meditation apps. My favorite is Calm, CALM, and they have a 5-minute meditation on there, 5 minutes. So I would get up and move to a room if you could, some kind of room in your office, some kind of quiet spot. Maybe you have to hide in the closet. I don't know. But I would do whatever it takes to hide and just do 5 or 10-minute meditation. Maybe if you have to go to your car if it's not hot.
Yeah, no, that is such a good idea. Yeah, walk to the car, do the 5 minutes of calm. You're right. There is, you don't even have to pay for these apps. It's just available for free.
Right.
So that is such a great idea.
Yep.
Yeah. So, people think living healthy is so complicated. They go on a diet, they join gym memberships that they never use. And I think they overcomplicate health. And I know with your challenges, 4 years of not eating gluten, not eating dairy, how have you simplified this for yourself? And, what can people learn from this?
How have I simplified? You mean eating gluten-free? And I'm almost dairy-free. Is that your question?
Right, yeah.
Well, the one thing that I had to get really good about was meal prepping and meal planning. And I'll tell you something, that was not something I wanted to do, but I had to. And I think just knowing the go-to foods are really helpful. And, if you're traveling, or if you're a mom like I am and you're going to ball games or dance and you're pulled out a lot and you're out for a few hours and, oh my gosh, people are ordering pizza and all this processed food.
Yes.
I had to get really good about carrying an insulated bag and just going to Trader Joe's and getting a salad and just getting things that I know I can eat and putting it in the bag so I'm not hungry. Because, stabilizing blood sugar is the other secret sauce to weight loss, right? So I eat every few hours, and I always make sure I have protein. For me, it's either goat cheese or peanut butter. So I have a list of the foods that I know I can eat, and it's on my refrigerator. And then when you can eat it, it becomes a habit. So then it's really, really easy. So I think just knowing ahead of time. Also, the restaurants, if I eat out, I always look at the menu ahead of time.
Yeah, and I like your idea of just heading over to Trader Joe's and picking something up. So it's not like you're cooking stuff from scratch. There are healthy options
Right.
available, even in prepared foods. So that is such a great idea. And then just knowing what you can eat, you can have small packets of almonds or whatever
Right.
works
I
for
can't do
you.
almonds, but I can do every nut but that in Brazil
Oh,
nuts.
okay.
But I
Yeah,
always do
almonds.
carry trail mix all the time, like cashews or walnuts. I have that all the time. And that, that can really fill you up and carry you in between meals. I also make a smoothie because um, I just love smoothies and it seems to fill me up and I put protein powder. So I carry that with me too. And I kind of sip on it throughout the day. Dr. Sears talks a lot about that too.
Yeah. Smoothies are so convenient. You can carry it in a big mug and then sip on it all day pretty much.
Yeah, and then you can hide. I mean, I call it cheating in a glass because you can hide a lot of nutrition in there. You can blend the kale and the
Yes.
berries and the bananas and all that, but you can sneak in some really good stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
What is your go-to smoothie recipe?
I like hemp milk or soy milk because I can't do
Right.
almond milk, but I do hemp or soy. I do a little honey, chia
Right.
seeds for the protein and fiber. There's a collagen protein powder called, I think it's called Vitality. You buy it at Costco.
Yeah.
It's unflavored. It's 18 grams of protein. So 1 or 2 scoops of that. I love peanut butter or sun butter. So I'll put that in there. And then whatever's in my refrigerator, honestly, if I have leftover kale or something green, it could be collard greens. It's usually kale. And then spirulina. It's really good. It's
Right.
delicious. Oh, strawberries are great too. It tastes like a dessert to me, almost like ice cream. It's so darn good.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, spirulina, I keep forgetting about it. I have it sitting in my refrigerator. I just need to take it out because I think it does have the highest protein content amongst all of the vegetarian options.
Yeah, just add
So,
that. I think it's detoxifying. It's just added that. But if you have like a
yeah.
little splash of pomegranate juice in your refrigerator, I'll do a little. You have to watch that because that can be high in sugar. But a little splash of that is great.
Right.
So, um,
That is such a great recipe. I think I will have to note it down, listen to this interview again,
I'll
and
help you
make a note
anytime.
of it. Yes, it is perfect because it's a perfect balance of sweetness and
It
protein
tastes so
and
good. You
all the
can't
good
believe
ingredients.
it tastes so
Yes,
good. You can't believe it's healthy for you. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is delicious. Yeah, I'll
yes,
sip the whole thing when you're really supposed to sip it, but I'll gulp the whole thing because it's so good. Yeah.
right. There is only one thing somebody can do to get started on getting healthier. Just one thing. What is your topmost thing?
Write it down.
Right.
I would say write it down and look at it all the time and just try one thing at a time. So if
Right.
you're trying to get off of sugar, maybe eat ice cream and you're really addicted to ice cream like I was, every single night of my life for many years. Maybe just go down to 3 nights a week. I would say just remove one thing at a time and get moving. But I think you just asked me for one. So I would say write it down.
Yeah, no, writing it down is absolutely
Well,
critical because I think everybody knows how to eat healthy, what is good for their bodies. It's just that they ignore it because it's not in front of them.
right. Oh, it's so easy to be distracted and pull something off
Yeah.
yourself, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and then when you're busy and stressed, and you can do is just order a pizza, do a carry out, and then it's all goes downhill from there because you don't control the ingredients, you don't know what is in it, right?
Right, right.
Yeah, this was a great conversation. Where can people find you? Do you have a website that you want to share with the listeners if they have more questions for
Nancy
you?
NancyTheHealthCoach.com, www.nancythehealthcoach.com. They can opt in for my free ebook, What the Food Manufacturers Don't Want You to Know, or they can email me, nancythehealthcoach@gmail.com. Happy
Yeah,
to.
sounds good. I will add it to the show notes. And yes, do you have any last words?
Oh my gosh, do I have last words? I would say, one thing that I do, especially in this time, a lot of us, it's a tough time for everybody. I look at my last words is to have a gratitude journal, honestly, and to look at it either AM or PM, whatever's best for you. Mine's usually at nighttime. but to have a gratitude journal and just count your blessings. Tell
This is
yourself
such a good idea. We do forget our blessings, right? Because we are in the mode of complaining every day. Oh, this is not right. There's traffic. There is COVID. There is pandemic. We are locked inside the house.
right.
So,
Appreciate the blessings and the silver linings because they're there. You just have to
notice, yes,
reflect a little bit, maybe. Yeah.
yeah. This was such a great conversation. I know it was quick. Maybe we can meet again. But thank you so much.
Thank you
And
for having me. I love being here.